Is Frozen a better player than Twistzz in FaZe? Well, today we will be breaking down how FaZe has transitioned so well from Twistzz to Frozen in Counter-Strike 2, as well as breaking down new FaZe versus new Liquid, and how FaZe have changed and adapted to a new superstar rifler joining the team. It's the first proper buy for both teams, and going into this round we can see that Liquid will have the better buy with more utility and a bigger bank, while FaZe has blown their whole bank on this round, so it's a crucial round to win for the CT-sided FaZe team. FaZe are going 3 players into jungle. Why? Well, as long as no one blocks you, to go jungle on the 3 best spawns are not so bad. Robs can make sure he gets to the stairs without having to deal with any opening ramp holding for him. Brokey can be allowed to push underground now that FaZe can hold for him, and Frozen can just go mid as long as Kerrigan takes apps control on B. Liquid are going for a 1-1-3 setup, 1 top middle and 3 towards A. Something you know about this setup early on is that the A players will take some attention so the mid and B player can push and get some free kills on rotating players. But here Liquid starts the round by smoking window, smoking short and then flashing into middle and using some flashes to take it. On all of that utility from Liquid, Robs decides to smoke off bottom con and go back to side to help Rain, who right now is alone. But I need to ask, what is Kedian doing? He has an AWP and just walks out towards Tetris. Like, why is he solo walking out? Naf nor Skulls will ever be able to trade him in this position, and Kedian gives up this kill for free. No idea what he even was thinking here. And this death forces Brokey to join on A site, since it's just more logical for Liquid to push on that, and this leaves mid open for now. And in top mid, Liquid has grouped up, so here this push might not have been too dumb. If we can pretend Kedian did not loosen up positioning his team advantage and gave Rain some confidence. Liquid throws some utility but quickly FaZe realizes it's a fake, and now that death from Kedian, well, it's back to looking like a massive mistake, and Liquid has to fall off and reconsider where to go. Vikander finds the equalizers, so why after this kill and Liquid has no useful map control do he jump window and push into the vent hole just to die? I can see taking jungle as a good option, but look at Liquid, there's no need for Vikander to push further until Liquid are going for a side take. As well as he is dying with a nade and a smoke, something Liquid would have needed for the execute later on. Liquid goes mid, and here are able to get up catwalk with no issue. And this is odd from FaZe, they have 4 players left, so why did they not have 1 player watching mid earlier on? Well, the time is low, and the worst part of this is that Liquid are in a man disadvantage. So to look for the side player with low time is dead right impossible. And here the player they need to be looking for is Kerrigan, and this is where you can see some flaws in the Liquid setup. First of all, Twistzz and Naf are holding the same angle, and then they are both looking away and Kerrigan can find 1 kill. And here Kerrigan after this kill hides inside apps. Twistzz finds Frozen peeking him, and here Twistzz then Molotovs apps to peek. But he is not playing this correctly and together with Skulls, and they end up giving Kerrigan 2 1v1 fights so he can secure the round.
Can't see them.
Yeah, it's not spotted. Timing for Kerrigan. Kerrigan will also spot a second target.
And the bomb gets dropped right there. Twistzz deals with the rotator.
No
Kerrigan can just lock this in, and there's not really time here for Twistzz to go grab bombs, so it's gonna fizzle out. Damn, Kerrigan!
Turn it all the way up.
Okay.
FaZe lost round 5 to a lower buy, so they are back to a shitty buy with 2 deagles, 1 M4 saved and 2 SMGs, while Liquid can breathe out again with another full buy and a chance to keep on building their lead. But these low buys are crucial if you win them. Look at Liquid's money. If they lose this, they will have 1 more buy before a double eco, something that can help FaZe tie or even take the lead in this game. Liquid are going for a default 2-3 with 2 players towards ramp and 3 in top middle. Usually on these rounds I would have liked for 1 player to be in apps, but that will not matter if you take mid fast, since that will force 1 B player to rotate mid. While FaZe has switched up their position with Kerrigan going mid with the M4, since he has the only reliable gun for the mid hold, as well as the 2 A players now having Rain on stairs and not Robs, since Robs has an SMG, while Rain has the deagle out. Liquid starts by smoking window and using some flashes to take mid control, as well as smoking top con to force Rain away, while Rain meets this with a smoke bottom con in case he wants to take connector, but this smoke from Liquid will allow Liquid to take con and fight for short control. But it as well forces Rain to walk up to stairs and peek into ramp, and here he finds the first kill of the round, a great opening. And the reason Rain can peek out in the open is since Robs has taken palace control, and quickly FaZe are starting to win a lot of map control, versus Liquid who right now only has ramp and mid. Liquid understands that map control is key, and here wants to take it from the top con smoke, and he can tries, with a random spam, something that just gives away his and Twistzz position, and Kerrigan with the saved M4 can find 2 kills. And just like that, a force buy versus a full buy is down to a 4v2, and I love how FaZe just goes into hiding mode. only waiting to play the retake and not giving away any free kills, since even though it's a 4v2, if FaZe were to give Liquid 2 1v1 fights with worse guns, this can quickly become a 2v2, so FaZe rather waits it out, and Robs from Palace is the unsung hero and can stop the plant, and FaZe takes the round.
It's clear that mid will be a persistent feature here for Team Liquid.
Ooh, for a FaZe.
And do they forget about it?
Kinder's gun runs empty. Kerrigan double.
Wow, nice control.
Naps holding it. Ooh, no, he doesn't get the kill fast enough. Oof. That is exactly what they had to do. It's the only thing they could do is throw Robs out from Palace.
FaZe are back to the default and the game is tied up with a 4-4 score. I love how FaZe this round have been very smart with the way they buy the kits. They have bought a kit on their mid player, Robs, since he has to rotate, and then one on A and one on B, and then saved $800 by 2 players not having kits for the next round. Liquid's setup is quite odd. They have 1 player going underground, 3 towards top middle, and 1 in spawn holding for any pushes. And here I feel like this is an issue for Liquid. They have no players early towards B or A to force FaZe to invest utility, time and effort to clear it out. If FaZe were just to go fast, down ramp, they could have gotten all of the info in the world of how Liquid are playing. So not a big fan of this setup from Liquid. Something else I love is to see how long FaZe holds their smokes early on and rather plays around the way Liquid smokes. Like as soon as Robs is smoked in top middle, he just falls off and stays alive. While Liquid has to wait for Naf to get closer to mid before they will take it, yada yada. On the mid take, Liquid will smoke top con and window, as well as flashing mid, and here FaZe are anti-stratting. This with 2 players on short, boosting 1 up to fight Kinder trying to go into top con. Since when going into top con from middle, you need to clear so much. And this makes you forget to clear the boost. But Twistzz, as a great teammate, is able to find this kill after Kerrigan whiffs on Kinder, taking con control. But from a great play to a worse, after this kill, Twistzz is hit with a very contagious disease called overheating, where he will just run head first towards Catwalk on this flash, even though Catwalk is about to be smoked off. So he could have gotten the Catwalk kill, but would have died after since nobody can trade him. But a fully blinded Frozen finds this kill onto him, and the round is equalized. And that is bad for Liquid. They have barely any map control. But here's something happen. FaZe setup on A are not set up for a con take, with Brokey in apps and Rain backside. No one is holding con and Liquid can have 3 players running out, and here they find the kills needed, and quickly it's a 4v2 in Liquid's favor. And something I hope to see more of, where we always see Liquid slow down after trades or kills. And here I hope as a team, and not just Kinder, will push more, and Liquid takes the round to reclaim the lead.
And this time it's Brokey. And he is one of 2 ops in this round. Robs also with his on the other side, but while that shot did land, Naf survives it, and the A-site just crumbles underneath this pinch.
FaZe are going for 2 players in A and 3 towards middle, very similar to Liquid, but here they are using a lot of utility early, with a smoked up mid, window and some flashes to take mid. While Liquid are going for 2 players in window, 1 solo B with an auto shotgun and then 2 on A. But FaZe start of taking mid early might be the best play against Liquid setup. The way Naf is playing solo on B, he can't hold any short pushes for his team. While so much is happening in mid, Kinder overstays and Kerrigan finds him through the smoke. And here is where the round falls flat for Liquid. When Kinder dies, Liquid still want to be in mid and have some control of it. And here they are going for 2 players into con. Only problem is the way they are playing con, it's on top of each other, with both players on the right side. And this sets you up for easy trades and spray transfers. The most optimal way of playing con is to have 1 on the corner and 1 on the left side, on the con opening. But the round does not start in con. It starts from ramp, where FaZe has had 2 players waiting for Kerrigan's opening in mid, since this will force 1 player to go middle and help and leave 1 player on A alone. And here they are able to find this kill rather fast. And this kill is a domino kill, where this kill will force Liquid to take mid. And here, Liquid nades their own smoke only for Kerrigan to exploit the bad con setup and find 2 kills. And just like that, the solo B player has to save.
Well, there goes the op.
Popping the smoke, Kerrigan here again! Oh, again!
Somebody stop this man!
20 and 11 like it's nothing!
FaZe early on has 2 players taking mid, 1 underground and 1 B apps. And then Robs in spawn using utility to help the mid take. And the default mid takes are to smoke top, con, window and short. And for this round, FaZe has smoked short and smoked con. And Liquid will try to meet this by having Twistzz and Kinder push middle, and this is the issue. Since FaZe molto window, Kinder, who we're going to be the player to play safe and help Twistzz take top middle, has to jump out. And this creates chaos for the setup Liquid are going for. now that they will have no safe player in middle. Kerrigan from under finds Twistzz trying to run back. And this leaves Ykinder stranded and blinded alone in middle, but Ykinder can get one crucial kill before being traded. And just to say, this whole start of the round was just chaos, man. Since here in mid, Cadian from short wants to help, only for Brokey to push the short smoke and kill him, and quickly it's a 4v2, with both Liquid players being stuck on A. And Liquid can't do anything, and FaZe takes the map.
They're trying their damnedest as Rain crosses back towards top mid. 2 players stranded. Kerrigan finds him through smoke,
Well,
but
there's no one
Ykinder,
covering underpass.
they haven't seen him. Kerrigan just missed vision. Ykinder catching Rain. Support off catwalk. Half the trade. Brokey's got him barrel stuffed.
Yeah.
And Cadian down with nothing.
Now I got my fellow content creator, Wa Tzu, to break down how different playstyles these two players have, Frozen and Twistzz. Check him out as well.
CS roster moves are very common. I mean, out of the 13 teams returning from the last major in Paris to the upcoming major in Copenhagen, only 8 have even kept their cores. Many of these teams got some upgrades, some got some downgrades, but for FaZe, I think their switch from Twistzz to Frozen might be the most equal exchange out of all of these moves. Of course, FaZe had their 3 tournament wins in a row at the beginning of CS2, but in terms of the quality of player and potential in return, I would say it's a pretty good exchange. And that has a lot to do with how well Frozen took over Twistz's role on certain maps. One of those maps is Overpass, which certainly isn't one of FaZe's recent favorites with Twistzz or Frozen, but it's a great example of the role replacement that Frozen has been undertaking. On the T side, both Twistzz and Frozen are third entry, more supportive players for FaZe, and on the CT side, they are both anchors. However, there are several key differences in their strengths as individuals that causes differences in their roles. I would argue the main differences between these two players in terms of playstyle is that Twistzz is the stronger clutch player, while Frozen is the better entry, and that Twistz's strength in fragging lies in his mechanical skill, while Frozen utilizes his game sense more. So although their roles as T and CT are functionally the same, the way that FaZe takes advantage of these individual differences creates different setups and roles for these players. Let's start with the T side since their roles are more alike in that regard. The round usually starts with both players taking connector control, often alone, and then reconvening with the rest of FaZe to set up the push onto A or to rotate to B. The main difference is that Frozen will generally push up and take control of the rest of connector, whereas Twistzz will fall back into upper. This may seem like a fairly innocuous choice, but it does serve a purpose, and that has to do with Frozen's superior entrying and Twistz's clutch potential. FaZe trusts that Frozen will take the initiative and clear connector and win his aim duel, which eases the load on the bathroom's push. Conversely, FaZe would rather keep Twistzz alive so that he can be the final safety net should the round go awry. That's not to say that Frozen can't clutch at all, or that Twistzz is incapable of entrying, but it makes sense that FaZe would rather lean into their player's strengths, even if they arguably had a winning formula beforehand. Once the two players reconvene with the rest of FaZe, it mostly plays out the same. They will throw their setup utility if they have any, and then push onto site after Rain and Kerrigan, with the only difference being that Twistzz is usually the bomb planter while Frozen is not. On the CT side, Frozen is going to replace Twistzz as an anchor, except that he is going to be playing on A rather than B. For the uninitiated, this might sound like an unnecessary change. I mean, if you can anchor on one site, surely you can just anchor on the other. All you're doing is stopping the T's from getting to the bomb site anyways. But not all bomb sites are created equal, and that is especially apparent on Overpass. The distance between a site and the first reasonable point of contact, or the first area where the CTs and T's fight given that they're not trying to rush each other, determines whether a site is better for rushing or defaulting. Sites like A Overpass favor defaults since the first areas of contact are so far away from the site, meaning that if you get a pick, it's going to be very difficult to convert that into a rush before the CTs rotate. This is where Frozen's game sense comes into play, as FaZe trusts him to stay alive and know how to aggress and fall back in accordance with the T's, delaying the push and gaining value. On the other hand, rush sites like Overpass B have much closer first points of contact, which means that one pick from the T's can easily turn into a full site take, as reinforcements may not be able to assist in time. So FaZe relies more on Twistz's mechanics and ability to get more multi-frags to help stop a full-on rush. Just pretend that this clip is a really cool display of aim and that Twistzz killed these T's and not Rain.
Let's talk about their playstyles, since we can see some crucial difference in how both players approach short. Let's start with Twistzz. He is way more relaxed on short, and taking this part of short, he's happy with this, and rather goes to a more supportish role from short, where he will hold from short what is needed to hold like bench, con, top, middle, but will help on A by smoking con, going ladder room to hold window and more, as well as being fast to rotate over if needed, and staying in window if this is needed as well. So overall on short, he is happy by taking the bottom of it, and just in some cases he will push out to get more kills and information and damage. FaZe turns this on its head. He is a way more aggressive short player, and this has its good side and bad sides. His default from short is to take it fast before flashing or getting flashed mid and then fighting towards catwalk. And this playstyle has its ups and downs. The upside is that you get mid control rather fast, downside is the risk involved in just peeking like this. FaZe will barely use his utility early unless it's a flash, while we saw Twistzz Molotov apps multiple times, while FaZe rather holds his utility, and this feels odd when he keeps being aggressive. It would have made sense for him to use utilities like smokes and molotovs earlier, so you do not die with it. But after he takes mid, he will walk back to catwalk or B site, and this is where he will be using his utility. These two players brings different key features to the team. Let's start with Twistzz. He brings stability to short. With his playstyle being so slow, he can ensure FaZe to focus on everything else like A site and B site. As well as the willingness he has to play different spots will allow FaZe to be way more loose, and let other players change around how to play, and you can just fit in Twistzz where it's needed. As well as he will always sacrifice his spot and map control to help out with utility from short, like look at these smokes he are throwing for the A players, while he still should be looking short. How can FaZe bring something as good or better to the team? While he brings early map control. His playstyle is much more aggressive, and this allows FaZe to fight for early mid control, as well as not focusing middle in the late or middle game stage. With this, FaZe gets to be a more aggressive player, since this was what he was doing on the CT side for Mouse, as well as bringing FaZe a new playstyle, something that might be needed with Robs and Brokey being super slow players in the respective roles. As well as FaZe has to go to A to hold. He is much more aggressive there, something we saw in his Mouse days, when he was the main A side anchor, something in lower buys or A stack he brings to FaZe. A big part of strats and setups are utility. So how are these two players with utility? We have already mentioned it, but let's go a little bit deeper. Twistzz is less careful with his utility. He rather uses them as a protocol than reactionary. He will molotov early apps, even though FaZe has no clue if any Ts are pushing. And many players does this since it's easier to make a plan for how to play when you don't have so much utility to worry about. As well as for Twistzz, he is very fast to help his teammate with utility when needed. It's like he falls back to the support route from Liquid. While FaZe is way more reactionary. It's why he plays so slow in the start, here to listen, since if he hears someone, he will molotov and use his utility properly. But if he does not hear anyone, he will keep his utility. And we can see as well, he is way more selfish with his utility and uses more of it in middle, and not any crazy A-site lineup like we saw Twistzz do when playing on short. And there are both some good and bad with this. When FaZe uses utility reactionary, well, with his pushes he will sometimes die early with unused utility. But when he is more reactionary with the utility, he gets to keep the utility for when it's actually needed. Well, hopefully all of you got a better look into how FaZe has placed FaZe in Twistzz position, but still allows him to be the same player he was in Mouse, to open up for FaZe a new possibility and strats, as well as seeing how different two positions can be played and adopted to your playstyle. Thanks for watching, and there are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like.